Go. Go.
All righty.
A hunting we will go.
No. Oh my goodness. I heard that was Jay. You unmuted. There you go. You good?
What up, Bird? Welcome to episode 5 of D313 Rapaport. We might be having some technical difficulties sponsored by yours and only truly StreamYard, but welcome to episode 5, man. As y'all know, man, we got the NBA and draft lottery coming. That's the big thing coming this week, this Tuesday. Later on Tuesday, man, about 8 p.m. Make sure y'all keep in tune to what our pick go be, what number we go be at, man. As y'all know, we got lots to talk about today with the NBA, specifically with the playoffs, again with the lottery, and just with the Pistons, who also, we got those minor announcements too to make on later in the show. And the Pistons had made a quiet announcement on Twitter too. So first things first, I got to bring in the gentleman that's on the panel with me. Let's start off with my co-host, co-host number one, and that's Mr. Daryl, DC1. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Feeling great. And there's another day. Anticipating for this, a good week for this playoffs and this draft lottery, man. Let's do it.
And the next man who's not second place, but only just the number, because he just came over here with us. But my main man, that new breed, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man? I'm just excited about the show, man. Just ready to go. Like I said, the draft, and just hopefully we get that number one pick. We hoping, we wishing, we praying, And shout out to Big Ben for being over there. Hopefully we can get that number one pick again in his presence. And like I said, these NBA playoffs, man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Draft lottery, the playoffs with Lakers and Nuggets first. Oh man, it's gonna be exciting, man. I can't wait.
Yes. All right, fellas. So let's get into it, man. First, I want to start off with I feel is breaking news. This was brought to me by, I believe, I want to say Woj on Twitter announced it on Tuesday, late tonight, on Tuesday, that the Pistons will. Tom Gordon did have, as we know, met with Charlie Lee, Collins, if I'm correct, and then of course, Kevin Ollie about the head coaching position. And at the end of the day, he's saying they're going to have, I believe, official decision also sometime during the lottery time. So I think maybe after the lottery or before the lottery, Pistons potentially might know who their head coach is. But I want to say, hopefully, it's the right one. I think we all selling ourselves right now for Kevin Ollie. However, I want to get into some breaking news because, as we know, more teams has got eliminated over the playoffs this quarter. So somewhat shocking firings, you could say, kind of went down. Unfortunately, the Suns go ahead and relieve Monty Williams of his coaching duties as the head coach of the Phoenix Suns after getting beat by the Nuggets, who looked like they could be potentially going to the finals, depending on what LeBron and the boys got to say. So I want to start off by giving our initial thoughts about that. Start with you, Daryl. How you feel about the whole situation with Mont getting fired? Do you think Pistons might be interested, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I would say this. I was 50-50 about him being gone and not being gone. I would say this, when you 2 years in a row, when you at home facing elimination, you you cannot lose by more than 20, 30 points. You can't be down that deficit in both elimination games. I mean, we seen that last year. You had a 3-2 against the Dallas Mavericks, and Dallas won the last two games to win the series. That's something, and then you turn around. You play Denver. Granted, they are the number one seed. They're the best team in the Western Conference. But you cannot sit up here and lose, get blown out at halftime by 30 and lose by 25 at your home 2 years in a row. And that's what it came down to. Matt Ishbia, the new owner of the Phoenix Suns, from the reports that when he became an owner, that Monty Williams wasn't his type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the report. So it was decision that was made by Matt Ishbia to let go of Monty Williams, and James Jones had to make the call on that. So it's just unfortunate that Monty Williams is no longer the head coach with the Phoenix Suns. But at the same time, you have to live from your mistakes that you did. So it cost you your team. But as that being said, definitely the Pistons are pursuing to for Monty Williams to be the next head coach. They are pursuing that since he's no longer is the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And I'd say that, hey, Troy Weaver is definitely taking his time. He has not rushed to pick a coach. I know we talked about the finalists of Charles Lee and Jared Collins and Kevin Ollie. I know we've been the finalists, but now since this Monty Williams, is out there available now, that Troy Weaver, him and Tom Gores might set an interview and possibly be our new head coach. I definitely want him to be our new head coach. And especially he can help these young players, especially what he did with the Phoenix Suns. And a lot of people forget too what he did when he was a head coach for the New Orleans Hornets, when they was the Hornets at the time, with a young Chris Paul, with a young Tyson Chandler, with a young David West. Help those guys, said to succeed, be better being players. So people forget about that. So I would love to have Monty Williams here to help this Pistons team. Help Cade Cunningham and Ivy and Duran, them guys. So I would love to see Monty Williams here. So definitely. So I mean, whatever decision Troy Weaver makes, as long as it's a good decision that us fans we will love, that we are loved and we satisfied, I would be fine with
it. Okay. Understandable statement. Don't worry, I'm gonna respond to some things you said later, but we got you on to breathe, man. Brother, what's good? I hope, what you got for Monty Williams, man?
Well, first I'm gonna say, give a shout out to James Jones, man. First, I'm not surprised by this. I thought it was kind of unfair during the circumstances that Monty was going through with an injured Chris Paul. And then with Ayton getting hurt and stuff like that, I thought he was in a messed up bind with that. But he knew the expectations. You know what I'm saying? When you got four players like that, with like a Booker and an Ayton and a Durant, you know what I'm saying? And KD, it's like you're gonna have high expectations. Now, the way they got put out, everybody, a lot of people had them winning the championship even before the playoffs even started. They had them winning. They like, oh, okay, well, they got KD, even though they gave up a lot of players, but they still gonna do that. And people wasn't even giving Denver a shot.
Yeah,
I still remember people saying, "No, they gonna sweep Denver. They gonna go 5 games," but well, they didn't. So, to me, I thought it was unfair that what they did to Monty Williams, even though how the coaching is now, not surprised. by. I hope the Pistons do give him a shot, even though I wouldn't mind Kevin Ollie, but Monty Williams would be a good choice too, because he's good with these young players, and I think his coaching style would be nice with these young guys. Now, I have heard people say that Monty Williams is not good at coaching big men. I've heard people even say that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think he would be a good coach for the Pistons. I think it would be a good right direction for him, and to me, it's unfairly how some of these black coaches have been treated, but that's here nor there. But that's just my decision. I would love him to be with the Pistons.
Okay. All right. Well, it's like this. So I kind of feel where Bree coming from too. No, yes, I think it's more than just coaching. They cost them in that game. You know, at some point, no matter how good the coach can lead you to the pond, you still got to drink. And at certain points, you got some of your top players, and the owner lets trade for KD. You know, none against KD. We know what KD is. He's a walking bucket. But at the end of the day, you giving up your bench. This is why I always tell people, role players matter. People just, you know, he only does this, he only does that. You might need that, because it's about giving your star players the rest they need. It's about being able to have that rotation come in and kind of keep the flow going. When you lacking on the bench, no matter how good your starters are, it's much harder for you to come up with an effective game plan to succeed in the playoffs, especially on the road. And at the end of the day, I'm not making an excuse for Monty Williams. What I am saying is this: Chris Paul, at some point, got to take some responsibility as a player. You the most seasoned veteran on the entire team. You and, again, Monty Williams go way back. That's how long you've been. When do you step up personally and take over the game? They looking at you in a lot of it. He has been not there. Even with the Rockets, he'll beat the, you know, second seeds and stuff like that. But when it comes to getting to the Western Conference, he's never available. Whether he in the game or not, because of injury, or he's in there and he's not available. Then you lose 8. That's what happens when you do make certain trades. And this trade was made by Matt Ishbia because he wanted a big player that he thought could take him over. Not sweating him on that, but kind of undervalue your bench. That's why you need it. And yes, you know, he could have called a better game plan, you know, later in the game. You know, saying that does, like I said, it's a combination though. I don't think it should just all be blamed on Monty Williams. Like, get it? No, he's going to be the scapegoat because he's the head coach. And at the end of the day, it's his job to come up with a game plan. Just like another guy that we'll talk about when we diffuse the situation in a minute. But for as far as him coming to the Pistons, it varies. You know, it kind of scares me when you say don't know how to use bids. I don't know. For us, I kind of think we need somebody that can coach the bids, but we don't know. Maybe that was just 8. You know what I'm saying? We can't determine that. We not in the NBA. We just guys sitting in the couch speculating, you know, for what we see and reading articles or the mouth, whatever else it may be. So I don't mind bringing him in as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Just because something ended bad for nothing. I mean, at the end of the day, with that philosophy, then, you know, Rick Carlisle would have never won a championship ring when we laid, right? It took him a while, but he would have never got it. He would have never got it. Nobody else gave him a chance. So, you know, he got one from the Mavericks. You know, just because he couldn't get one here or the Pacers, it still didn't determine his future. So it doesn't, just because he failed one place. It was the same thing with Dwayne Casey. You know, just because he failed the Raptors, I was willing to give him a chance. But, you know, Pistons, that's, you know, when they hired him. So with Monty Williams, I'm more than fine with bringing him in. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what he can learn and take over here. You know, it's about the players, too. The players got to listen to the coach just as much as you need the coach to be able to coach the guys up. It's a combination of both. Everybody got to do their part. And I don't feel like everybody in Phoenix was doing their part. You know what I'm saying? Too much got blamed on one person. You know what I'm saying? With certain coaches, yeah, you can see the same thing they do. And the same mistakes that can start hurting the team. You can see it with another guy again that we're going to mention in a minute. But with Monty Williams, I think he had a little help getting his job lost. You know, I can't blame all that on him. But if they lost, it could be somebody else's hand. You know what I'm saying? It's about how people fit together. You know what I'm saying? Rumor has it Milwaukee was looking at him real hard. Remember, Milwaukee beat him as the head coach over there. So They fired their head coach. Now they listen to him. So it's something that they must see in him too, if they want to give him a chance. So we got to take all that in consideration. That's why I understand why Troy Weaver is taking his time. Him and Dwayne Casey took their time trying to find a head coach because they didn't want to settle for any go out name like we kind of did with Ron Casey because he had the most experience. Sometimes it's somebody with less experience that might got. Sometimes it might be a guy like Monty. Sometimes it might be Budenholzer, whatever his name is. You got to have the right guy. And that's just what it comes down to. So with Monty, yeah, I'm fine. I'm more than fine with him being head coach. If it gets announced tomorrow, cool. If it's Kevin Ollie, cool. I'm just saying, I think he got a little bit dirty. Get the circumstances how they lost, but can't blame it on personal fault. I mean, you wouldn't have got that far probably if it wouldn't have been because Devin Booker and a lot of the boys been there for a while. But just saying.
You know what? Like I said, I definitely agree with most of what you're saying. But you, as again, I understand that you didn't have Ayton, you didn't have Chris Paul. Especially, we all know how the injury history when it comes to Chris Paul in the playoffs. No matter what team he's on. Yes, I'm not blaming everything, and I agree. I'm not blaming everything on Monty. He gets some blame of it, especially this playoffs. Now, I'm not gonna say they squeaked by when they play the Clippers. I'm not gonna say they squeaked by, but they got by just enough because the simple fact that the Clippers, Kawhi, saying didn't play the rest of the series. And they already didn't have Paul George. We all know it would have been a different series if both of them guys would have played. But as that being said, Monty Williams in that series and the Denver series, he was playing Kevin Durant and Devin Booker over 40 plus minutes, damn near every game.
Yeah. And
not utilize his bench on a consistent basis. And that's one of the things that, the issue with Monty Williams not utilize his bench. And that's why when they headed him in the series against the Nuggets, it failed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, game 6 when they played the Nuggets, didn't have your 2 of your 4 core out there. And Devin Booker was shooting out of his mind in the playoffs, and then he just went cold in the games that you really needed him. And Kevin Durant was up and down at times. So Monty Williams takes some of that blame on that, but you cannot sit up here as a coach. You cannot in elimination home games get blown out in your home floor back-to-back years. You cannot do it. And the fact is that Monty Williams didn't make enough adjustments to get them in a winning situation. That's the same with them in the 2021 finals. You up 2-0. Why is you up 2-0 in that series? You control that series. Why is the rest of the 4 games you did not make adjustments to double team Giannis out of the Kupo and make somebody else beat you? You had DeAndre Ayton out on the island getting in foul trouble because he has to contain one-on-one with him. That's an adjustment he should have made. That's an example with the Miami Heat. Why they made adjustments of stopping Giannis. Make Giannis work for it. Is you gotta make adjustments, and that's what costs Monty Williams. Some parts of it cost Monty Williams his job. That's just what it is. You gotta make adjustments. That's why Ty Lue's one of the best. Greg Popovich. That's why all these Eric Spoelstra, all these other coaches that have been around for a long time, they are good at making in-game adjustments. Monty Williams has to learn that. He's capable to do it, but he has to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Ishbrook was waiting to get rid of Monty. I think he wanted to get rid of him from the get-go when he started his job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel that way.
Yeah.
And
he
it's
knew
like,
that was his guy.
And you could just see through that trade, you just see how bad they miss Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. It's so
That's what I'm saying.
you know, it's just how you give up. This is the risk you do when you get rid of your young talent for a player that's probably only going to be there for a couple years anyway. Now, I put more of that blame towards Devin Booker. That's just me. Cause you got, but at the same time, you got him being a scorer. Then you got him being a point guard. Then you got him doing that. You can't have him do everything. And then what messed Phoenix up is that they took away from the game plan of going towards Kevin Durant. They should have put it more with Kevin Durant more than Booker. They was winning games going through KD instead of Booker. So once they start going towards Booker, that's when they start losing. But it takes adjustments, like, you know, just like what D was saying. It's like when you in the finals, you going up 2-0, you can't. You know Milwaukee is gonna do adjustments. You know they're gonna do that. So you have to go along with that. Like don't let Giannis beat you. Let Chris Middleton beat you. Let Drew Holiday beat you. You know, somebody other than Giannis. But they didn't adjust to that. And those, even with last year against Dallas, nobody saw that coming. And this year, it's just, now it's like you hate that Monty Williams is like the person that's getting blamed the most. It should be these players. And then also too, Cam Payne didn't play majority of that series too. So, but a lot of teams are dealing with injuries. I mean, Miami is dealing with injuries, and they in the Eastern Finals. So we can't always use injuries as excuses for these teams. It's always got to be next man up. That's what every team, every sport.
Yep.
So I hate that it happened to Monty, but I think Ishbia was doing that from the get-go.
Yeah, I
really do.
Even if they lost that game close, I think he's still firing him. Now, here's my thing, though.
Before I let you go, ahead. Now, if the Phoenix would have lost game, if they would have lost, say about a couple points, I think maybe it's like 50-50. He probably maybe still been a head coach for one more year. He still got 2 years or 2 or 3 years left on his contract. They still owe him. So, just saying, he may if they wouldn't have lost as bad as they would have lost, I think possibly would have got another shot, one more year. Other than that, you know, when you get blown on at your home floor 2 years in a row, elimination game, I mean, you can't come for that. So, go ahead, Norman.
Now, I was gonna say, now what's the reason y'all think the Milwaukee Bucks head coach didn't get fired? What was his excuse? Because
I'm gonna let you. Let's say this. This is gonna be short. It's gonna be short, right quick. Adjustments.
Same thing.
Adjustments. You didn't make adjustments of double team Jimmy Butler, especially that game 4 when you let them come back. You let them come back from a 14-point deficit. You had about 14 points. You let Miami come back and win that game to go up 3-1, which you had the opportunity to tie the series 2-all to go back home. And then you go home. You're up by 16 in the fourth quarter. You let Miami come back and send it overtime and win the game. You didn't make adjustments of double team Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler got hot. You didn't utilize your timeouts. I mean, you can't be the number 1 seed. You should have been playing better. People say Giannis got hurt. Yeah, Giannis got hurt. He missed a couple games, but you had the opportunity. Giannis played a couple other games. They had the opportunities, and you blew it. You gotta sustain the lead. You gotta make adjustments to get the ball out of the best players' hands and make everybody else beat you. And that's why Budenholzer got let go, because he didn't make the adjustments. And they say, hey, you're the number 1 seed. You lost to an 8 seed in 5 games. And Miami had their number. So they the only team, to me in my book, knew how to adjust to how to slow down Giannis out of the football. That's plain and simple.
All right, so I guess we can switch topics unless you got something else, Bree, you want to say real quick.
Well, as far as Budenholzer, it was just not calling timeout at it, and like it's next man up. I mean, you still do All-Star and Drew Holiday, and you got Chris Middleton. They should have stepped up even more, to me.
Yeah.
Like, you two All-Stars, more so Drew Holiday should have stepped up because he was missing in action because Jimmy was cooking him. He was cooking him. So it was adjustments with that too, and just not calling timeout at the right time. Like, Jimmy Butler scored with 0.5 and you don't call a timeout. Like, who does that? So he got fired because of those things, in my opinion. But hey, it just tells you nobody is safe in coaching, no matter what your record is. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a trick because go ahead.
I'm gonna say this with Bree saying, I'm gonna somewhat give Drew Holiday a pass because he had asked to do a lot. Even in a couple of games, Giannis was hurt. He had asked to do a lot. He had to do the scoring and defending Jimmy Butler, and that was a tall task. I mean, yeah, he didn't play great, but I'm gonna give him a little pass because he had to defend Butler a lot. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of pass.
Mm-hmm.
Just that. Middleton, the rest of them, no.
I feel that.
I give Drew Holiday because he's their best defender and he's doing what he can only do. So I give him a little pass. Go ahead.
And I'm shocked Middleton didn't step up. No, he don't need the guy that steps up. That's the scary part about it. I was like, wow, Middleton was missing. But I will say this though.
And Brook Lopez was just missing in action, and Bobby Portis.
I forgot he was still in the league, but anyway.
See, there you go. There you go.
crazy.
Man, it just took because we as Pistons fans, if you do call timeouts too much, we piss. So I don't think there's anything a coach can do personally to make a fan base happy unless you just win it all. Because anytime you lose, there's always going to be criticism about what you could have did or what you didn't do or you shouldn't did. But I think that's just where we got to leave it at that. Because at some point, like you said, where there's a Rick Carlisle, there was always a way. He at some point got better and was able to win championship. With Dirk Nowitzki. So the other coaches will follow the same too. Just because you get fired one place, now mean your career's over. I think that's where we can leave that at. So like again, I'm cool with Monty Williams or whoever they decide to bring in as the head coach, as long as somebody who fits. But switching gears just a little bit, staying at the playoffs. There's been some interesting situations going on in the playoffs. You got the Sixers being completely violated, and then you have the Knicks, despite Bronson's effort, despite Jalen Bronson's effort.
I see where this is going.
Gotta give a little bit of salute to Jalen Bronson because you know what? He was probably the most cracked on free agent this year because of the contract he got and the things. He actually got a lot better since being with the Dallas Mavericks. And I gotta admit, he played up to part of the playoffs, man. But they just wasn't enough for Jimmy Buckets, man. Jimmy Buckets is playing like a man on fire, Salute to Joel Embiid getting the MVP, but man, it's something about Jimmy Butler's gameplay right now that's killing me, man. And then somehow the Cakers are up there still.
The Los Angeles Lakers, man.
Yeah, and you got the number one seed over there. They go on the West Conference Finals. Then you got the Eastern Conference, Boston and Miami. It's literally feeling like the same two conference games that we had during the bubble. I swear, I could have sworn the Lakers went against the Nuggets then, and I could have sworn Miami and Boston went at it again, and Lakers and Miami went into it. Now I don't know if that's going to change because when I look at the matchups, I still don't trust Tatum and the boys, man. I just don't trust him. I know he balled out yesterday, dropped 50 and all that. In these big game situations, either the final or sometimes I just don't trust that. You know what I'm saying? And then, with the Lakers, you don't know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what to trust because you just know LeBron out there. And it's like, I don't know if these two teams are, making it interesting. Could we see an AC versus AC finals, or is it going to be the first seed going against the other first seed? I don't know what this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? But what are your thoughts on the eliminations and the games that happened with Miami versus Knicks and, the Warriors getting eliminated, obviously? Like, just y'all overall view on those games. Like, what would y'all think y'all took from it? Starting with you, Bree.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I had the Knicks beating the Miami Heat, so that hurt. But as far as that series, man, it's like Jimmy Butler is just on another level right now. It's just ain't nobody that's been better in these playoffs than Jimmy Butler. Yeah. It's incredible the kind of gameplay that he's playing. That he has that responsibility of being that, not only in the offensive but in the defensive too, and their whole team. And with the injuries they have, it's just incredible. New York just didn't have enough. It's only so much Brunson can do. You know what I'm saying? And everybody to step up. Julius Randle ain't step up. R.J. Barrett was flatter than day old beer. So it's just it's crazy. Now with the Lakers and Golden State, it's just Golden State. It seemed like they just didn't have it no more. LeBron and AD was just too much for them. You know what I mean? Clay wasn't hitting no shots. Steph wasn't hitting them. And it was just that whole adjustment with Sub and Looney for Draymond being the 5th seed. That's what killed them. I think that's what cost them that series. To me, that adjustment was just not good that Kerr did. But hey man, I think Miami and Boston, I think if I'm not mistaken, they played the 3 of the last 4 years.
Yep, they played last year.
Yeah, and during the bubble. So it's just, to me, it's gonna be a good series. I think that's going 7. I still got I got Boston winning in 7. I think this is Tatum time. I think Brown's gonna step up. All these guys gonna step up. It's gonna be a good series. As far as Denver and the Lakers, I got Denver. I think Denver gonna probably win in 6 games, probably. I think it's gonna be too much. I think Denver is gonna be too deep for the Lakers because they got a deep squad, but you can never count on LeBron. You know what I'm saying? LeBron finds ways. Even with the worst teams that he's been on, he finds a way to get to the finals. But to me, I think it's going to be Denver and Boston. I got Boston winning the whole thing. That's my thing.
Okay, Darryl, what you say?
Let me start with this. Golden State, I really thought it was going to go 7. I thought it was going to come out and play hard in Game 6, knowing they got a chance to go back home in Game 7. But instead, they got their butts whooped from start to finish. They got it close as they can, but Lakers was just too much. And now, Lakers are going up against a Denver team, been a number 1 seed all year, been the best team in the Western Conference. A lot of people is not giving them a chance, probably including myself in a way. But Denver, this is the opportunity to get into the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. And Jokic is playing out of his mind. in the playoffs. I mean, he's been unbelievable. I mean, people, him and Jamal Murray, and that's what happens when you have a healthy Jamal Murray, and you got healthy guys with Michael Porter Jr. and KCP, Bruce Brown, and guys out there, man. Look, we got a couple of former Pistons. Actually, 3 of them. You count Reggie Jackson, but he has been playing. But you got 3 former Pistons on that squad. Oh boy, I miss those guys. But boy, I miss those guys. But yeah, man, just Denver it's Mike Malone, man. He's been having not the best of luck every time he gets into playoffs, and I think this is the time. I believe Denver Nuggets will get in. I think they'll be win the Western Conference. I think they'll be in the NBA Finals. I see this series going 6 games, possibly 7. So I got Denver in, being the Lakers in 6. I think they'll close them out. I think the Lakers will be too much, be too much for Denver, and I just think that the Denver Nuggets are the better team. Now,
you just said that you think the Lakers would be too much for the Denver.
I meant to say the Nuggets. I meant to say the Nuggets. That's what I meant to say. My apologies. As far as the New York Knicks, boy, the Stephen A. Smith. Oh, Stephen A. Smith was praying on that. I said to myself, I looked at that first game when the New York Knicks lost at home to Miami Heat. I said they in trouble. Yeah, they won game 2, but Miami won those 2 games at home. You know what I'm saying? Went up 3-1. I said it was over. Yeah, New York won in game 5 because they knew they was trying to stay off elimination. Miami's like, hey, you know what? They probably wanted to close it out in Miami, and they showed it. And Jalen Brunson balled his butt off in this whole playoffs. He wasn't the problem. RJ Barrett, I think he didn't get it, but like I said, I don't think him being the third, maybe sometimes the 4th option, because last year he was the 2nd option. Now him being the 3rd, possibly the 4th option, kind of his game was kind of up and down. I think he'll be fine going forward, but that damn Julius Randle, boy, I tell you, I don't understand him. I really don't. I don't understand Julius Randle. You got the potential, and you just don't show it. They said I'm Knicks fans. I don't blame him. You done with him. I don't blame him. But hey, it is what it is. And the 76ers, Doc, once again, you at home, game 6, to close it out. Jason Tatum only had 3 freaking points in the 4th quarter. He dropped 16. And he had 19 points the whole game. He dropped 16 in the 4th quarter. And you lose at home. And then you get blown out. It wasn't even close. I mean, yeah. I'm ready. Like I said, I'm ready. I'm ready when Doc Rivers, when they announced Doc Rivers is gone.
Tell me it's not true that James Harden had 9 points in 4.
He has 9 points. Yes, he did. We already know what this. We already know what this is. We already know what this is with James Harden. We already know what it is.
Hey, listen. When you got PJ Tucker scoring more than James Harden, that's a problem.
Hold on.
That's a problem.
When you in the post game conference talking about you and James Harden, quote, it wasn't enough. Y'all can't win this alone. But Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey scoring more points than both of y'all combined. Please explain. And y'all supposed to be 2 best players, but you want to try to
they score more points both of them combined.
Yeah, they score more points. Come on now. Then both of your guys.
You know, James Harden don't play shit worth for defense. That's
So it's that being said,
Whatsoever.
like you want to put your team under the bus, but you're not doing what you're supposed to. Tobias Harris did what he's supposed to do. Tyrese Maxey did what he's supposed to do. I'm just saying, don't throw your team on the bus and your stats ain't better than what your other teammates doing. Just saying. Yeah, PJ Tucker, more points. I think he had a little bit more points than
man, he was in their ass the whole series, and it wasn't still winning through. Like,
yeah,
I'm just saying.
They just not ready.
You know somebody in that locker room got called a bitch. Like, I'm just saying. Like, for real.
Hey, you know what? I don't blame Ben Simmons for posting his little Instagram picture watching the game at his crib when the 76ers was getting blown up. People want to make a big deal of it. Hey, he ain't on the team no more. Hey, It is what it is. But as I said, man, this Miami and Boston series is going to be a great series. I mean, these two teams went at it last year. Miami was the number 1 seed. Boston, I believe, was the number 3 seed. Or the number 2 was one of them. They went at each other, went 7 games. I know Jimmy Butler did not play great in that series. He had a couple of good games. And then went 7. I know he was a 3-point shot away to send the Heat to the NBA Finals. And he missed it. So I know that came through the back of his mind, like, hey, this is another opportunity. I mean, we beat them in the bubble. They beat us last year. I do think the Miami Heat gonna be the first 8th seed to get to the NBA Finals since the 1999 New York Knicks, when it was a short season. They'll be I believe the Miami Heat been playing with house money. They've been inconsistent in the regular season. They had that bad loss to Atlanta in that play-in before they came in and won against Chicago. And ever since they've been rolling. You knocked out Milwaukee Bucks, the number 1 seed, and you knocked out the number 5th seed of the New York Knicks. Miami's been balling. They've been playing their hearts out. They've been playing hard. So I believe the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler is destined. He's desperate to get back in the NBA Finals to show, hey, that bubble year wasn't a fluke. And Miami was my preseason pick to represent the East. They came out disappointing for a while. I didn't think they weren't going to do it, but this they chance. So I think Miami's going to win in 7 against the Boston Celtics, and Denver winning in 6 against the Lakers. You'll see a Denver, Miami in the finals.
All right. So I think you already agree.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's on me. All right. Dot Rivers. I mean, every team he touched look exactly the same. They lose the same damn way. They play the same way. He gotta be the most consistent in a bad way coach I ever seen in my life, man. Like, I just don't understand how you can't never get your star players to play out. And then you got the Lakers, like I said, Golden State. I did feel like they just don't got enough strength down low. I think they had more help down low. I think they have a different matchup. A lot of these teams, like even with the Kings, even in that scenario, I feel like they didn't have enough strength down low. I'd say the MVP for that team though was definitely Kevin Love, especially during that series with the Kings. But for me, I feel like the finals, it's kind of hard for me to predict it on the East. I can see the Lakers winning, coming out the West against, Jokic, because y'all gotta understand, as good as Jokic is offensively, can you do this on AD? Because AD is there, it's a difference when you got somebody like him guarding you and you having your way on certain other teams. They equipped to handle y'all. That's the only thing I'll say. Now, the Lakers guards gotta have a mess because you gotta play off Murray there, and you gonna have a collective of other guys. But are some of those guys, Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, are they gonna be able to step up though in the playoff series? Because That's the thing. You go have to count on them. You got to count on KCP. You got to count on Murray to be consistent. Because if you try to win this thing through Jokic, I don't know, man. And the Lakers, they can be physical. And that's the thing about why I know why Miami was able to come away with the New York Knicks, because it's like they were more physical too than the Knicks. And that's why I'm looking at this could be a rematch of three ways. You could see Boston go to the finals, but I don't think Boston can handle whoever can win down low. I don't know if I'm giving that to Boston. Now, Boston got a lot of guards and wings to cover. That is true. But if they can't count on their main guys, it's a wrap. That's what I'm saying. Tatum looked good. Remember, we saw this last year. We saw this last year when he was going to the finals. Oh, he looked like it was his coming out party. He got to that finals. He just froze up. He couldn't do nothing right. Even at times during the Western Conference, I feel like he could have did better. Tatum had a good game, but can he keep it up? Because it's a difference going against Tyrese Maxey, James Harden versus going against somebody who got poison in his vein like Jimmy Butler. And the way that team, we keep forgetting how good, well coached that Heat team is. They both beat each other back-to-back years for a reason. But I have to give the edge though to Spoelstra. I don't think man, let me tell y'all this. Miami for a long time, even before D-Wade retired, they had this thing where you don't count them out. I'll never forget back in, I want to say it was 2016 or 2017. I think it was 2017 season. I'll never forget the time where it was like a back and forth thing on the seed. The Pistons were trying to get into a seed to get the playoffs. We couldn't quite get there, but Miami just, we like, okay, they about to lose eventually. No, they just kept fucking winning. And I'm like, damn, what is they doing over there? Like, and it's just, that's how it is with them. Once they get hot, they stay that way. You gotta knock them out. Like, that's why I feel like they might get past Boston. Boston look like they're unbeatable. You look at the guard situation. Look at the wings. You look at the fact they got defense, and then you got this new coach in there. But Spoelstra got the experience compared to their coach. Spoelstra, he had to deal with injuries too this year. They dealt with their problems playing bad this year more than Boston. Boston, to me, didn't get impressed enough yet this year. Miami did. It's the reason why it was the AC. I'm just saying, Miami know how to get their role players to play up and step up in big games. How many times do we used to see Dragic just stepping up? Mm-hmm. I'm going with Miami. I think this might be Miami versus LeBron again. It's about who's more physical for me. I think those are the two most physical teams in this series.
I agree, but you know what? That Heat culture has been like this for a long time. Since Pat Riley, whether he was a coach or whether he was a GM, and the owner, Mickey Ayers, I think it was his last name, but that Heat culture, man, they always find a way to win, never quit. Yeah. That's why Miami always succeed, and for like you said, with Eric Spoelstra, that's why he's been around for a long time. People just think, Eric Spoelstra is just a coach. He coached in LeBron and D-Wade and, Chris Bosh. And, he got 2 championships. He's not that great of a coach. But Pat Riley was so smart and believed in Eric Spoelstra. Yes, they've been in the playoffs. They've been, contending for getting in the finals. They made the finals in the bubble. They played hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out with the losing result, but against the Lakers. But
it's
that
about
team
culture,
it's that culture that Mickey Arison and Pat Riley and Lonzo Mourning, that whole management, they put together a team. Look at them 2 undrafted players. Matt Strus, Gabe Vincent. The guys weren't even drafted. And those guys come out here. They start over Kyle Lowry. And Kyle Lowry been in the league for 16, 17 years.
And see, that's another thing. Champion. They always keep veterans on their roster at the right spot. They don't start their team with a bunch of old guys. They get young guys, but they keep those veterans around too. Like again, when I said Dragic, and it was somebody else too that was there.
Udonis Haslam been in there forever.
That's what I'm saying. And you
Shout
know,
out to Udonis Haslam.
And you made sure you got a big, and then when you brought Jimmy Butler over there, it was almost like a perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? That was the perfect place for him. That was where he can go stay. That's his team. D-Wade was gone. They needed a star player like that. And then you had a young guy developed it under all them and Tyler Herro. It's just the culture there, man. You don't get talked about enough. It started during that era when the 04 Pistons was hot, and it just kept transitioning. But because, you know, LeBron wasn't there no more, they forgot about that. And they worked their way back into it. You know, they kept D-Wade around as long as they could, like you say, and then, you know, it's just they keep their players, they ask players are involved too, I believe. That's another thing. Spoelstra may be a quiet guy as a head coach, but he's one of those guys that just know how to coach. You know, and that's what I want. And, you know, for the Pistons, the same thing. Like, you look at Miami, everybody, of course, want to be Golden State, Steve Kerr, and all that. But no, Miami right now, to me, is the true standard. They prove right now that even if they lose the series, they prove a seed don't mean shit. You can be any seed you want. You can go out there and win it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got guys out there that you never heard of playing hard and showing a difference. And that just shows how good of a coach Spoelstra really is.
Ain't homeboy back to knocking down shots again? What's his name? Duncan Robinson? Is he back?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Remember, he was going through
Kevin Love too.
Yeah,
Kevin Love
that's
too.
Right. Kevin Love did lead to go to that. And I understand why he did that. Because he got tired of dealing with the young guys over there in Cleveland. He saw the writing on the wall that they might lose. He said he going where he know he got a chance to win it. And that's exactly what he did. He took the LeBron approach and said, F it.
And that's another team that's going through injuries too, with no Tyler Herro, no Victor Oladipo, and they still doing their thing.
Yes.
You know, it's crazy.
And Bam been in and out of the lineup too.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. Right now they look like the standard of what it means to have perfect coach in sports. Period, man. You can't have too much of one side without the other. It's got to be a perfect 50-50. You know, you got to have equal coaching with equal player acquisition, man. You can't have more talent coaching or more coaching than talent. You only go get so far. When it's even and it's balanced 50-50, not 49-51, that's when you can go as far as you can go. You know what I'm saying? When you just more talent than coaching, you go be probably team like, you know, the Cavs. You'll be the Knicks. You'll be, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. If you got perfect coaching, this is why I gotta say this. Before we run out of time, I gotta salute our hat. We're talking about Pistons. You gotta salute your hat to Darvingham. You gotta salute your hat to nobody gets some credit. It's not LeBron. It's not the head coach. This is the guy that's got this team ready, and the reason why they at HC too. So I'm saying, like, okay, 7 seed still. He got them in the Western Conference. You come on, man. Trade deadline. We knew they wasn't going nowhere. But apparently he said something, and he's not getting the credit. He's not getting thought. This is a guy who was around.
It's Rob Pelinka made the decision as well to need them trades. So him and Rob Pelinka, you got to give a shout out to Rob Pelinka. What he's doing.
So you got to give a shout out to them. Like, people go credit LeBron, but you got to give love to Darvingham, bro. Darvingham been a winning team before. He knows what it takes. This is exactly
first year coach.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like he in the 7th seed in the Western Conference, bro. The team that we thought was just trending downward more and more. We were just picking at them, calling them senior citizens and calling them street clothes. They about to possibly go to the finals again. And if they don't, still, that's a hell of a year for Darvingham and do all that. You gotta give Snooston, like, this is the 04 Piston we talking about.
Yeah, and a first year head coach.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
no,
I'm kind of jealous that we didn't hire him. Shit, so
right,
right,
exactly.
I couldn't stand him as a player because I thought he was just all muscle and space. I'm like, he don't do shit.
Yeah,
but hey, man, But I'm gonna expand on this on the SP podcast. But that's what it takes sometimes. Some of those players that don't be all that great, they be on these teams traveling. They learn from possible winning coaches. If they just end up on a good situation, and eventually, they go quiet. Tyronn Lue, he another one. Yeah, people talk about him. He got busted up by Iverson, but at the end of the day, he probably learned something being a Laker or whatever. And now look at him. He won finals and stuff like that himself. So that's why I root for those player coaches. That's why I'm rooting for you with the Lions. Not talking about football. I'm rooting for guys like Dan Skipper one day to get to coaching, because I think all the stuff he's been through, learning under Hank Fraley too, he probably learned something one day to be a head coach himself. So, of course, our boy Dan Campbell. So it's like, but anyway, man, I ain't gonna hold up too much time because we do got some announcements that we want to talk about. So, first announcement I want to say is that on every episode of Rapaport, we're going to do our announcements, guys. So, if you ever want to hear our initial announcements for anything coming up for future content, we're going to be mainly doing it on the Rapaport. If we have to do it on SP, we will. We're mainly going to do it on Rapaport because this Thursday, and I believe this is still going down according to our man Breed, that we will be having former ESPN analyst and article writer Sergio Rodriguez joining the show this Thursday. And as promised, we told y'all we had content coming. So y'all might want to be there for this, man. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a big thing. We're going to be talking more basketball with the playoffs and stuff. And this guy talks a lot of basketball for his Spotify. So we'll be having Bree reach out to him again, man, and get some more stuff to prep for the show. But make sure y'all be there at 8-ish because Thursday is going on, man. We about to have some big time guests coming on here. Y'all don't want to miss this, but I'm telling y'all. Another thing I wanted to add on there too. Tomorrow, these two gentlemen here, my StreamYard co-host, sponsored by StreamYard, we will be doing a watch out for the reaction to the lottery for the Pistons lottery pick. Y'all will in get us number one pick, everybody. So these guys will be bringing y'all some content for that. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that as well. Anything you want to add, Daryl, or stuff like that? Anything you want to?
Just right quick, man. Like I said, tomorrow, like I said, myself and Bree, we would definitely do a reaction video for the NBA draft lottery. So make sure y'all stay tuned to that. Make sure y'all also stay tuned this Thursday, man. It's gonna be a live great show. We'll have a special guest. Sergio Rodriguez is definitely going to have him on, so make sure y'all stay tuned to that, man. It's like I said, we still got the playoffs. It's going to be exciting for these conference finals for these final four teams, and also too that we still got some little baseball, we got some little Tigers. So make sure you stay tuned to that still as well. We got Lions football. You got. We definitely gonna try to get into some Detroit Red Wings if we can. So make sure y'all stay. And USFL as well, man. So definitely, man. So those are my final words, man.
All right, Bree, what you got, man? Go ahead and do what you got to do, brother. Tell the world what you want.
Hey, just basically just everything from looking forward to tomorrow's show, man, with the draft lottery. And then upcoming things. I'm very looking forward to talking to Sergio Rodriguez, man. I just happened to reach out to him. He said he was cool with joining in. So we're gonna try to just get more people to just join in and stuff, man. So it's about to get real, man. Y'all better buckle up. Y'all better buckle up. Cause we gonna be. Yeah, we working on trying to get some people up in here, man. Because I know
every week process again. We gonna
it's a process. All three of us is working on getting people up in here, man. So just to let y'all know, we serious about this, man. We trying to make this stuff happen. We trying to put it to an extreme high level, man. So
yes,
we serious.
All right.
As Detroit fans, you know what I'm saying? We trying to make it past Michigan. We trying to the New York people all over. So we're gonna try to make it happen. You know what I mean? We serious.